Good morning. I'm Danielle, founder of Calm Kids Counselling and Wellbeing Services. I'm so fortunate this morning to be on the east coast of Bali in a place called Ahmed. And I hope you can see this amazing volcano behind me. This is Mount Agung. Mount Agung and I have known each other for quite a while now. A little bit of backstory before I get into explaining why Mount Agung is important for this talk today. I was living in Bali for 5 years before COVID. And for about 12 months of those 5 years, Mount Agung was threatening to erupt. It was a really interesting time. I was actually co-principal of an international school here. And every day we had to get on to the internet and follow the volcanologists' predictions and reports about what was going to happen that day in case we needed to close the school. It's a really interesting story that I use in a lot of my sessions with children and adults. I like to use the story of Mount Agung because as humans, we're a little bit like volcanoes. There's a lot going on inside sometimes. And this volcano had a lot going on inside for that 12 months or so. What we expected Mount Agung to do was have a huge eruption, and everybody was prepared for that. What actually happened was over the course of that 12 months was she released steam clouds fairly regularly. There was a small eruption at one stage, and then a lot of steam and ash clouds were released. And I use the story in terms of, as humans, it's okay for us to feel all emotions. All emotions are valid. All emotions are really important. It's what we do with those emotions and how we express them and get them out of us that becomes really important. So Mount Agung had her own way of releasing that emotion, so we didn't get the big eruption. And as humans, it's really important for us to work with children and teens to help them discover and find ways for them to express their emotions in healthy ways that are helpful for them and helpful for those around them. And don't put pressure on their relationships, but actually help build their relationships. So in sessions, I actually build a volcano with children while I'm telling them the story about Mount Agung and how clever she was to release those emotions regularly, or release the tension regularly. And we use plasticine or Play-Doh to build a volcano shape. And we pop in some bicarb soda, which I let the children know is representative of their emotions and feelings. I also let them choose some food colouring to put in to represent whatever it is they might be experiencing. And then we pop in some vinegar. And the vinegar is representative of a person or an event in their lives that might really trigger those emotions to boil over, to bubble over, to erupt. So we play around with that a little bit while we're chatting about, how unhelpful it can be sometimes when we have those big eruptions, just like Mount Agung could have had, and how damaging that can be, and how helpful it can be when we can find really helpful ways and healthy ways to release those emotions. So I hope that all makes sense. It's a really interesting story. The kids love doing it in session, and I'm so grateful to have had this experience and this relationship with this particular volcano. Wishing you a lovely day, and I hope that you can find really healthy ways to release your emotions too. One of mine is definitely sitting here on this beach, listening to the ocean, allowing my nervous system to reset. You hear those noises, it's just beautiful. So find some way today to help your nervous system reset and allow those emotions to be expressed in a healthy way. Take care.